Hey y'all, so I don't know how many of you guys sit or lie down when you're watching or listening to my videos, but I'm going to suggest that you sit for this one because it's pretty deep, and I'm gonna try and, discuss everything to where I don't sound too, I guess, triggering or whatever, but I'm just gonna be very blunt and honest and real as someone who has not only experienced this, but transcended it, and I recognize it for what it is. And it takes a tremendous amount of strength, diligence, and honestly, grit to do this, okay? This is breaking a trauma loop. Now, I know for my traumatized girlies, it seems like that meme, and if I can find that meme, I'll post it in here. You guys know that whole meme where it's like just walking down the street minding my business, and then here comes like a wrecking ball, right? And here comes another traumatic event. I know that, that meme is supposed to be funny and like relatable, and there are so many people in the world who relate to this. However, if you are a person that finds yourself having repeated traumatic events, especially in a short period of time, like it seems like at least every year something big and traumatic and like horrible happens, like almost like your worst fears manifesting, okay? Sound familiar? And like you don't know how to stop it. As you work on your mindset, because this is mindset stuff, it kind of correlates with self-concept, but it's more mindset, meaning how am I viewing this? How am I labeling this? What am I willing to do to stop this cycle in my life type stuff, okay? It's a trauma loop. If you are a person that has experienced numerous traumatic events and experiences, at least every year, I mean, sometimes maybe even twice a year, or like you experience things that are like just like the worst thing ever, or it's like a domino effect, right? Where you go through a really big traumatic event, and then after the big traumatic event happens, then you end up like, getting into it with friends, or then you end up getting into it with like, family, and then you maybe lose your job, and then money's like getting depleted, and then it's like a freaking downward spiral, and you're like spiraling, right? So it's triggering the panic, the anxiety, the depression. It's triggering all of those fight or flight things. And this stuff is emanating from your nervous system, okay? That's why I've made this page, Traumatized Girlie, because what I have found with a lot of manifestation coaches and even mindset coaches, as much as I love everybody's content, there are a few, and this is no shade to them. I mean, I don't want them to live a life this way, but as a woman who spent a decade in fight or flight and has only recently nipped it in the bud to where the cycle doesn't even go through me anymore, I want to share this information because I know how it feels to be that traumatized girly that has like, that it feels like life is caving in and shit's just getting worse and worse and worse. And like, and I know how that feels to be like curled up in the bed, crying, like in the fetal position, losing it. And then like you're having a panic attack and like you're scared because it seems like your worst fears are manifesting. And that's because they are, okay? And the more you feed into the panic, sad, unstable spiral type energy, the more that awful traumatic reality is going to stay, okay? Now, this is not saying that you need to become an emotionless robot. There's a time and a place to process your emotions. But to be very honest, not everything, especially not everyone in life, deserves your awareness, your energy, or your focus. Because traumatic events manifest in different ways. I'm going to start with the nervous system. And this is why when they talk about, mindset and manifestation, how I mentioned when you listen to sleep tapes, like affirmation tapes, right? You kind of get like a lot of weird dreams or like crazy ass nightmares or like jump you out your sleep. It's your subconscious fighting those more positive affirmations or more positive beliefs, because unfortunately you've lived a life too long in fight or flight and experiencing unfortunate events to where your mind has now normalized, your subconscious mind has now normalized these awful traumatic experiences with people, places, things, circumstances as like this is your reality. This is normal for you. And that's just not tea. And it starts with the nervous system, because a lot of people don't realize that your nervous system is default manifesting for you because it's unstable. A destabilized nervous system is going to be constantly triggered in fight or flight. It's going to constantly go up and down. It's going to constantly view everything, everyone, everywhere as a threat, even when they aren't. And unfortunately, when the real threats happen, when the real things happen, you're already burnt out. And so then it like triggers this whole like survival mode. And I am telling you, as a woman who has lived it, okay, because it gets real out here, that shit that it's going to repeat, it will follow you, but it's up to you to break it. And it's all energetics, and it's all your nervous system, and it's all the subconscious mind. Okay. So, first of all, to recognize a trauma loop, I would suggest journaling. Look over your life. If you're a person that's experienced maybe, perhaps CPTSD, where you've experienced a lot of traumatic events since childhood through your adulthood, and to you it's just normal, and maybe you have that mindset of, this is just the way life is. These things always happen to me, almost like a victim type mindset. Not saying you're not valid for feeling the way you feel, but how you communicate with yourself and how you're communicating to the universe, it's manifesting for you. And you need to nip it in the bud if you want to live a better life, because it's going to start within. And you cannot, recognizing and breaking a trauma loop, it's definitely not one of those things that, oh, I'm just going to wait on my outside to reflect it. No, this is all internal. This is all internal. A trauma loop can manifest from racing thoughts, racing negative thoughts. You ever, like, when you do start to meditate and you start to actually sit with self, and you sit in the stillness and you sit in the quiet and you pay attention to your mind, because that's one of the things that when we work on mindset, this is one of the things that comes up. You ever notice how you have a lot of negative thoughts and you wonder where those come from? Like, you're always like assuming the worst of everything and everybody, and you're always like you ever like when you're driving, right? And you're driving and someone pisses you off and you be like, fuck her, and da 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 da. And then it's like when you drive off and the event already happened, and like maybe somebody cut you off, you're like still thinking about the person that cut you off, and you're like, they probably fucking eat roaches for dinner, or some stupid stuff. Like, you're going on about insults about a person you don't even know in your mind, or you're like making negative assumptions about people you may meet, like, oh, they look this way, they must think this way. That's a loop. Those are all loops. And it's a part of it can either be a part of a karmic loop, but it can also be a part of the trauma loop, because the trauma has conditioned you to think negatively of everything and everyone, and see everything and everyone as a threat to you. And unfortunately, if you've lived in environments or you've lived through experiences, like, this is what happens to our war veterans. Honestly, when you live in those combative, hostile, emotionally volatile environments, you become conditioned to think that this is just how life is. And so when you are in a more stabilized environment, or even when you live by yourself, and you finally get away from everything, you start to like, the problems almost seem like they follow you, right? So it's really important to journal, right? Because when I told you all about how I changed my mindset by journaling and like working on myself and doing all these things, like, seriously, like, step by step, this is like how I did it. And this is a lifestyle. It's not just like I'm gonna do this and put this down type thing. Like, no, this is an everyday type thing. This is the rest of your life type shit. So all of the bullshit that you've gone through, all of the horrible experiences, all the awful people, all of that will never manifest in your life again, and you will become a version of you that, one, doesn't expect the other shoe to drop per se, or you don't even attract those type of events because you're stabilized within your nervous system and you're safe within your mind, and your subconscious mind is now working for you instead of against you and everything and everyone else in your reality, right? So journal, right? Track the traumatic events, track the traumatic experiences. Now, I understand that this is like not the funnest thing, so I definitely would, recommend getting professional help with this. Like, you guys know, I'm in active therapy. I've always been in therapy. I will probably always be in therapy and or counseling off and on, just because it's really changed my life. And I mean, over the past 10 years, it's really been a shift. And even though now when I do have sessions, they're more proud of me and more supportive, and they completely understand how I move through things, even when I move through tougher situations, because they see how I'm showing up and they see how other people may be showing up. And it's very distinct because, nowadays I don't react to people and their bullshit. I genuinely, I don't have time. And I've been working so much on myself, both, inner, and outer. Like, you guys know, like, I'm studying for my real estate license, and I have so much going on to continue transforming and building up my life. And so I don't really give a fuck about nothing because I care about me, because I know how I've lived in the past. I know what I've experienced. I know what I've gone through, and I'm fucking tired. So because of that, I've made this dedication to myself, this commitment to myself to change my life, right? And I don't give a fuck who likes it, who doesn't like it, who's trying to like tear me down in the background, who's like, with the dying energy in my background trying to grip me back, and I'm just like, you look pathetic. And I don't react, I don't engage. And a therapist and a counselor will pick up on your behavioral pattern changes as you ascend and as you, move forward in your life, because they're going to notice that you are no longer reacting and or acting as the person you previously were, and they're going to commend that in you, and they're going to point that out. So I definitely recommend like doing this with a therapist or a counselor, especially if it depends, on if it's too triggering for you to do on your own, especially with journaling, because I know sometimes people say that they feel re-traumatized when they actually reflect on certain events and really understand how they manifested, especially in their adulthood, things that they feel like they can't explain. A lot of people, including myself, have had experiences where you ever been in the middle of a damn panic attack and you're like spiraling inwardly, and next thing you know, everything around you goes to shit. Like, you guys ever be like in the middle of a panic attack, and like, let's say you argue with your partner, and then your partner is like fucking Freddy Krueger type shit, and then like what, you guys break up, and then next thing you know, maybe you fucking lose, all your belongings, or like you break up and like maybe you lose your home or you lose your job, or like, dude, you ever fucking be in the middle of a panic attack and you're already spiraling, and let's say you just got into like a fight with someone, like an argument with someone, and then you get a text from somebody saying, yeah, I don't really think, like, hey, I think we need to talk. I'm not really feeling our friendship anymore. And you're like, where the fuck did this come from? Bro, it's energetics, bro, because it's who you're being. Like, I laugh at the shit now because I used to be this way, and I'm like, I can't I can't believe it. Why? But no, seriously, like, who the fuck are you being? You're being a person that has internal chaos. So chaos has no choice but to outwardly manifest, bro. And if you are already coming from a traumatized, hurt, sad, anxious place, well, child, you're gonna have those traumatic, hurt, anxious experiences. And it's not saying that you deserve it. I am not saying you deserve it. So many people get the words wrong when this type of language is spoken, because people because it's triggering people, because they recognize the pattern within themselves, but they don't necessarily understand it, so it feels like an attack. And you guys know I'm not attacking y'all. I mean, if I was, you would be able to tell. But my attack dog days are over. But in all seriousness, I'm not attacking you guys. I'm calling it out as a woman who's lived it, and I've gone through it by myself. Okay, I've gone through it without any support. Okay, I had to pick me back up, okay? And I had to make a choice to shift regardless of what the fuck was going on around me, not only to be a better woman and be a better person for myself, but to be a better mom, a better parent. Because once I became pregnant, I started, really, really, really wanting to work on myself and seeing how my own patterns and stuff like that I had lived through, over the years, that I just didn't want to touch my child, man. And like, as a person who still wants more kids, and I still see myself settling down, and now it's like, as life is getting a lot better, I am attracting in better experiences and finally better people. And that's why I'm just like, bro, I can toss that whole ass old life in the trash finally, because it doesn't matter, right? Like, all I care about is my child, my future children, and my family. And I told you guys this in the It's Okay to Let Go video. And I'm oh so serious, because when you start to recognize these patterns in yourself, the minute you recognize it and you're able to call it out for what and how it is, you will be able to work on it and transmute it. Meaning, you will be able to catch yourself easier. So when you see things that trigger you, or maybe want to trigger a response out of you, or what, to be honest, something that has become easier for me, which I never thought would be an easier thing to deal with. People who treat you like shit and are super disrespectful, or people who try to like, bruh, I'm so tired of the people who try to take you down energy. It's the biggest delusion in the world. Bro, those people, like, honestly, like, pray for them. The people who want to try to take you down, ruin your life, act like they control you, and have like this egoic rage, like this like fixation, like this obsession on you. Like, they're sending their friends to watch you. They're fucking watching you. They're like stalking you. They're seeing your every move. They're trying to mock your every move. People with these kinds of fixations, even though they are frustrating as living fuck to deal with, I'm not gonna lie, I have found now in my ascended self, they're the easiest to see through, and they're the easiest to ignore, because the energy exposes itself, especially if you're a peaceful person. Okay, especially you've won when you ain't done shit. I'm talking about you barely have had contact with a person and they acting out. If you can, girl, like, how they say that's how you know you a bad bitch, when you got them triggered by just like breathing. No, seriously, I'm oh so serious. If you are a person that just be minding your business, and then you have those toxic people who are blowing up on you, one, do your best to not allow these people to trigger you. You are in control of your own mind, your own emotions, your own everything. You can take your power back at any moment and not give them the reaction that they're looking for. You can still speak your truth and walk away, or just fucking cut them off, girl. I mean, girl, life goes on. Not everybody is a toxic chick stain. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, girl, life's short, child. Go live it and enjoy it and be happy and proud, right? But these people, because you can see them from a mile away, and their intentions, it becomes very obvious. Like, if you have that person in your life and you're like, what the fuck is this dude's problem? Or what the fuck is this girl's problem? Like, I interact with them and there's like so much hostility. Like I text them, hey, or like whatever, or we're trying to organize something and there's just like blah, like it feels like flames coming out of your phone. That's the energy. That's the bullshit. Don't react to it. Don't match it. It is up to you to control yourself, to shut them out, and to not internalize their actions by not spiraling when they do or say things, by not falling into a panic or like an anxious mess type shit when they're doing something. And some of these people will try their best, okay? And this is where strength and diligence really come in, okay? Okay. Like, some of these people will do their worst. I'm not even going to front you. I'm not going to hold you. It's up to you to have the self-control. And it's up to you to love yourself above the bullshit. If someone is going above and beyond to trigger you, someone is going above and beyond to just take you down a peg to where they're becoming ruthless. Maybe it's low blows. Maybe they're, withholding from you. Maybe they actually stole from you. Maybe they're smearing you, right? Like going through like a smear or a hate campaign or a gossip thing. Or trying to turn people against you. Some might even try to turn your own family against you, depending on who they are. Maybe these are people who you once confided in and you told them like your secrets and stuff. And next thing you know, your secrets and the things that you confided are like all over Facebook or some shit or like social media or on your social media in the comments or so, like crazy stuff, bro. It is up to you to starve it of that energy so that doesn't manifest, so it doesn't get bigger and snowball into your life and traumatize the living shit out of you. This is how you break trauma loops. It all comes down to self-control, self-regulation, nervous system regulation, and, transforming your subconscious mind and your beliefs to start working in your favor instead of against yourself. But you have to start clocking your own shit. If I know, like, think about it, right? Like, let's say you're trying to actively manifest a new life and you want a whole new way of life. Like, let's say you want a soft girl life, because that's just like the life that you've always seen. Yourself having, maybe you're like me, like I'm a woman, like I want more kids. I have no choice but to be chill. I love myself too much than to ruin my health, my mental health, my inner being, my body, my everything for nonsense, and bullshit energy. I love myself too much. I already have the belief system that nothing is ever truly lost. So the things that are meant for me and the people who are meant for me will always return to me. Nothing is ever truly lost. Nothing is ever truly against me. And I stand 10 toes down on that. And I challenge anyone with that bullshit energy just by sitting 10 toes down on it. I don't have to argue. I don't have to go back and forth. My being speaks for me. Okay. My light, right, speaks for me, right? You have to be so dedicated to self. Like, and I'm not trying to scare my traumatized girlies. I'm not trying to like put any of you guys down or anything or instill fear in you guys. But y'all know that being a person that has frequent panic attacks and anxiety, that shit takes years off your life, sis, because of the heart palpitations. And you guys know, okay, if you're a person that experiences frequent panic attacks, frequent, anxiety, like bouts of anxiety, even depressive episodes, right? Where like you feel completely shut down because it's like system overload. It is quite literally bad for your actual health, and it can take years off your life, because when you have those heart palpitations, guess what else is spiking? Your blood pressure, okay? Your cortisol levels, which is the stress hormone. We all know stress is a silent killer. Don't do it to yourself. Love yourself enough to break the trauma loop and break the fucking cycle. Love yourself enough to say no more of this shit. They could burn the whole damn everything down and I still won't care because I'm over here, you know what I'm saying? I tell myself that I look too fucking good to do. Like, I mean, if you want to just do some affirmation, like, whatever you're doing, whatever you guys do, like whatever your hobbies are, or maybe like you're like a career woman and you're just too busy in your career, just be too into yourself for bullshit, bro, because that's what it is, bro. And when you see through it, you will be able to navigate yourself through it. And the most important thing, and one of the best things ever, is that when you finally take your energy back and you finally, regulate your nervous system and you start resting more and feeling safe in your own body and mind and trusting yourself more and building that loving relationship with yourself, you're naturally not going to care about outer circumstances, because remember, circumstances don't matter, and you will see shit shift in your favor out of nowhere, bro. I promise you, you will see shit. A situation that looked like it was the end of the world. A situation that was like, oh my God. Like, they doing all this bullshit. Like, I promise you, dude. And I've lived this already a few times. And even now, things are actively shifting in my favor. And I'm just like, see, that's that self-concept. That's that mindset on deck. Something that looks like, oh my God, they gon' get away with this bullshit. Starve it of your awareness. Starve it of your energy. Starve it. They don't deserve that. Watch that shit shift, even if it's subtle shifts. And those are the things you need to start giving credit to. So let's say you're like an anxious wreck, and maybe what you're trying to manifest. Maybe you guys are trying to manifest getting like a super amazing job. And let's say you're already working a job that you fucking hate, right? And let's say that the job that you hate is like triggering the fuck out of your nervous system. Like every day you have like a panic, or like every day you like get into it with your boss. Take your awareness away from it, center self, regulate your nervous system, stop engaging in those toxic arguments and engagements and whatever. And then let's just say like the job that you're applying to, you're super anxious about getting, you're hoping you get it, but then you have those doubts. Immediately start working on your beliefs, start regulating yourself, center yourself, and always come back to self. Whatever you got to say to yourself to build yourself back up and feel safe in your body and your mind and in your spirit, stay there and stay so committed. And just tell yourself every day, because it's the truth, I deserve more than this bullshit. I never deserved that bullshit. I sure as fuck don't deserve what the fuck is going on right now. Like, you gonna start recognizing just how bad people and circumstances and things got you fucked up. Like, that's the truth. You're gonna recognize, like, damn. Like, I don't know who they think they're doing that to. I don't think they know who they think that they're saying all this to, or who they even think that they may engage with, but it ain't me, because I just look too fucking... I tell myself that every day. Every time somebody trying to come at me with disrespect, or I see bullshit trying, or I see certain actions, or I come across, certain things or whatever, I'm like, I look too fucking like, tell yourself that, because the minute you do that career that you want while you're in that job that you hate, bop, hired. Bop, you did so great on your interview. Bop, when can you start? Bop, can you put in your 2-week notice for your old job so we can do that? And that way you don't even miss a paycheck, bitch. And you know you love it. You know you love it, right? I'm telling you, it's the energy. It's the energetics, bro. Stop letting your nervous system default manifest bullshit for you. Stop letting your subconscious mind, with all the limiting beliefs and all the negativity in your brain and all those racing negative thoughts, rule your mind and rule your life. Are you not worth more? You are worth so much more than that. And, all I'm saying is, I think a lot of y'all are free spirits over here from my main channel. Okay, and I'm just gonna, shout out my free spirits really quick. And y'all know how I have always felt about the free spirits. We look too fucking good. I've always thought that I've had one of the most attractive audiences, because like I attract bad bitches, and I love it. And I love you guys. Y'all look too good to be dealing with the bullshit. And even if you're a new traumatized girly and you don't even know what Life of Free Spirit is or was, and like you're just on here for traumatized girly content, my girlies, we look too good. We're too valuable, okay? We are quite literally all there is. We are amazing, feminine, just like strong women, and it's time we start living and acting as such, so our lives can start manifesting more in our favor, and we stop giving our energy to trauma, bullshit, and just like real life horror movie type shit, because we deserve so much more. So give it to yourself first, and make the commitment to adjust your behavior. Start asking yourself, when things start to try to trigger you and get those overreactions in you, and things look like they're doom and gloom, ask yourself, what would the version of me who doesn't even deal with these panic attacks, who doesn't even deal with these types of spiraling emotions, do right now? and do that thing, because it's probably going to be, I'd just go chill with myself. I'd probably set that thing aside for right now. I wouldn't engage with that negative ass, toxic ass person. And I believe in energetics to where whatever people put out to you goes back tenfold. Leave them the fuck alone. That whole storm, that whole whatever that they're sending your way, leave them alone. It's going to go back tenfold at some point. I don't care if it takes a couple years. Eventually the energy circles back. Leave it alone. Separate yourself from it. Keep building yourself up from it, and keep going, okay? Ask yourself, what would the version of me who no longer deals with any of this shit be doing? And do that. And that's exactly how you'll break a trauma loop and be able to recognize it for what it is. So you can go from being a traumatized girly to a strong ass boss ass girly, okay? I love y'all, and I really hope that this video helped y'all. I'm gonna try to put video chapters in it. I think I did a good job like outlining the video, but this is a video like I want y'all to sit and take notes, and I want y'all to lay down and like key with this video, because I'm putting y'all on game. All right, y'all know I know what I'm talking about, because I mean, if you've been on the Life of a Free Spirit channel, y'all have seen me through a few storms. All right, this ain't my first time at the rodeo. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. So I love you guys, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Mwah.